Hi everyone, welcome to Fat to Thin Senior RNY. I'm Raven. I was 76 years old when I had gastric bypass surgery on December 16, 2019. Medicaid approved the surgery. Last week I talked about my attitude towards eating and my attitude towards fat people and their bodies. In this vlog I'll be talking about what's the next big project. If you're curious, please join me on this journey and continue to watch. Last week I talked about my attitude towards eating and my attitude towards fat people and their bodies. Of course, I'm still fat. You see, there's a lot of it here. This week I'll be talking about what's next. I think I've got cabin fever though. I've been crazy to get outside, but there's no place to go to except to walk outside, which I happen to like to do. And just like some foods that don't taste good anymore. There are things that used to interest me, like the guitar, like painting, that just doesn't do it for me any longer. I promised my daughter that I would paint pictures of my great-granddaughter who just celebrated her first birthday, and I've been looking at the pictures on my desktop for the last year. I even pulled out the paints, the canvases, and all that kind of stuff. I've got the charcoal pencils and everything ready to sketch. My other great-granddaughter is now 7 years old, and she's still waiting too. So things that used to interest me, that I was passionate about at one time, doesn't seem to be there anymore. I have to find something new, you know? And you know, it's kind of sort of, it feels, after this surgery, it feels kind of anticlimactic, you know. So you drop a lot of weight and then what? You know, it's like people who retire, a lot of people who retire die 2 or 3 years after they retire because they don't have anything planned for the future. And so they just kind of give up, you know. They've been saving their whole life to get out into the bright light of retirement, which is okay. I never really thought much about what would happen after I got skinny. I just visualized myself with a thinner but a healthier body, and possibly, you know, walking, doing running. Mostly I was dreaming about running and that kind of stuff. That is just kind of sort of, I mean, it's only, what, almost 9 months after the surgery, and it kind of feels anticlimactic, you know. It's like having babies, you know, after they're born. Quite a few women have postpartum depression because all the fun is over. I guess, I don't, you know. I think that's where I'm at right now, and being in the house all the time, even though I'm a loner, you know, is beginning to become wearing. So when we go out for walks, I've been trying to find different routes, places we haven't been, you know, that kind of thing. And I've been thinking about, what is my work? With a capital W, work. What am I supposed to be doing? I don't seem to have a passion about anything except possibly this weight loss. There's a lot of things that I'm interested in, but none of them that feels like it's calling me, I have to do this. This is the way life is for me for the rest of my life. I've been physically taking care of people my entire life. I mean, from when I was a kid, I used to take care of my brothers, you know. I used to stand up on a chair to cook, you know. From there, I had kids. From there, you know, I took care of various people, like one man who was developmentally underdeveloped, and we took care of him for 9 years. He was my age, and it was like taking care of a kid, you know. I took care of my mother until she died, and various spouses in between, you know. And I didn't even take a year and a day like I said I was going to take before I took care of anything, because I got a plant in like 3 months after breaking out, and then I got Rowley within 6 months. so I'm still taking care of stuff, you know, but not people. So here I am now, 77 years old, and I feel like I don't really have a calling at this point. I still have an interest in in a few things. Like I'm a religionist. My college was in comparative religions. I have a real interest in why people practice, or really why and how they practice their worship in the way that they do. And then as a side kind of thing, I want to know why people cluster in neighborhoods. You know, why do we keep into our same self communities, you know? But although I have that undying interest in both of those subjects, and I do quite a bit of reading, research, and whatnot on those subjects pretty close to daily, I don't really feel a calling. I do feel that I should be making these videos. Got me why. So I asked the universe, what is my work? What am I supposed to be doing in life? And I clearly got, relax and let things work themselves out. So, not being really satisfied with the universe's answer, I said, meanwhile, what do I do? You know, is there some kind of stepping stone, something I should be doing, you know? Should I keep making the videos? I think I should. Keep asking questions? Yeah, you gotta keep doing that, you know. So, this is where it's at. Hi, people. So what next? How do I see me in the future? Well, there's a couple of things I really want to do, and I've put on my wish and want list. Like, I want to do a circle dance of gratitude around a bonfire in the desert. I am 77. I want to run a marathon, all 26.2 miles in one day. Yes, that's been on my list for quite some time, and I want to do that. I want to see every single Cirque du Soleil from around the world. That means that I unfortunately have to travel to places like France. You know, Japan, China, you know. I want to travel from the top of Alaska down to the southern tip of South America. And I think I'd like to drive that trip, you know, and maybe camp out in the national parks and whatnot along the way. Really would like to, and maybe join a women's caravan to do that, or do some of it that way. Meanwhile, I've got to relax and let things work themselves out. I think that's my problem, is I don't know how to relax. You know, even though I know how to meditate and that kind of good stuff, you know, I don't know how to not do stuff. So, on to my self-sabotaging checkup. I didn't indulge in any of my addictions this past week. I didn't do shopping, I didn't do food, I didn't do anything else. I did do walking. I did a lot of walking. I've been eating around 1,000 calories daily this whole week, and I lost a pound. Last week, I did exactly the same thing, and I lost 0.2 pounds. yeah. Also, I've been walking a lot more. I've been doing a thing to train Rowley. Speaking of Rowley, he's okay. I've been doing this thing to teach him how to not lunge, and I get in more steps at the same time. So I had seen, you know, a bunch of different dog people on YouTube, and they suggest things like walk, you know, walk along like you're going to walk, like you usually walk along, and as soon as he starts lunging and barking and stuff, you immediately turn and go in a different direction. Well, so I said, okay, that's cool. I should not look at this as annoying. He's barking and lunging and carrying on again and chasing after the golf carts and people on bicycles and people with other dogs. I'll just count it as getting in a couple of extra steps. So let's go this way. Come on. And that lasted about 3 or 4 barks this morning, which was kind of amazing because he will lunge and bark whether there is anything out there or not, whether it's 6 o'clock in the morning, 5 o'clock in the morning, 10 o'clock in the morning. It doesn't matter. He will bark, 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 bark the whole entire lane, and lunge and jump. It's like, and he's announcing to the world, I'm out here today, come on out, you know, let's play, let's talk, let's, you know, whatever. But after I started walking backwards, he kind of sort of, okay, let's go, let's get to the park. You know. And we did the rest of the walk without him lunging at anyone until we got close to the end, and we were on our row, and one of the maintenance people went by in their go-kart, revving it up. And so he started lunging, barking, whatever. So I pulled him in close to me, and we kept going, you know. But that seems to work pretty good. And it's funny, too, how just with an attitude change, it makes it okay. I mean, up until this point, I was really annoyed. Why isn't he picking this up? I mean, he would pick it up for a while and then drop it, you know, and then he'd be back to lunging again. And then other times, you know, but ultimately, after a while, he would slow down. He would stop doing that. Like, for instance, when I stopped to talk with people, he used to bark and wind his leash around my legs and it just carry on. And now if I stop to talk to somebody, he just sits down. You know, so I figured, okay, after a while he'll get he's not supposed to lunge and bark and carry on. So, we'll see. Meanwhile, I get in a couple of extra steps, you know, so that's cool. So he's learning every day. And of course, I'm learning every day. And I'm glad he's here. I really am. So to sum up, I'm feeling good. I don't have any regrets about the surgery. I think it was the right thing for me to do. I still think it's the right, in fact, the more I think about it, the more I think it was the right thing to do. And I would do it again. So please like and share and subscribe and comment and ring the notification bell. And thanks, subscribers. So don't forget to click show more to see some of the stuff I put in the description, okay? Because I find random things every now and then, you know, that just seem to be slightly related to weight loss and bariatric surgery and kind of living that fit in the description but not in the video, okay? So you have a great day, okay? Take care of you and yours, and blessed be.